Hey everybody, welcome back to THG Podcast. I am THG, your host, and today I'm joined with the legendary Trailmedic from YouTube fame. His name is Keith, and today we're going to ask him a few questions about just what he likes to do as far as hiking, backpacking, and camping. Well, welcome, Keith.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Welcome to the podcast. So tell me, first thing I need to know from you is, how did you get started being the avid outdoorsman that you are?
Good Lord. It's been 50, almost 60 years.
Did you do it as a kid?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, started, we lived in the city mostly, and any chance I got to get out and get away from that environment, I just took it.
Good.
Even back as a kid, this was church.
Right.
This was the relief from everything.
What was your first official pack that you had?
Oh my God.
Like that you can, 50 years, I mean, that's a long time, but.
It was probably an old Molly pack from World War II.
Nice.
Korean era, probably.
Yeah.
World War II, though, because it didn't have a frame or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, you had this, when did you get started in YouTube?
Oh, that's only been about 6 years ago or so.
6 years? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, it's kind of interesting. I backpacked a lot in my teenage years and my 20s, but then, life takes you in mysterious directions.
Right.
And I really couldn't find anybody that wanted to go.
Right.
And it was either go by yourself or just not go. And so for about a 20-year stretch, I didn't go a whole lot. And I own my own business doing camper repair and stuff since I retired from being a paramedic. And it was wintertime, and of course you're not very busy in the winter, and I'm sitting there thumbing through, and I get on YouTube, and I really hadn't watched it much because I'm old, and, all that social media stuff. But anyway, I punched in backpacking, and one of the first ones that popped up, of course, was Shug.
Right.
And I got to watching that and really enjoyed it. So I punched in Hoosier, and the Hoosier Hang popped up, the forum and stuff. I went into the forum because Shug was talking about that, and I punched in Hoosier, and the Hoosier Hang popped up, and it was only like 2 months away. So I went home and told my wife, I said, hey, I'm going to go to this. And she goes, well, who are you going with? And I said, nobody, I'm going to go by myself.
You're going to meet people off the internet?
And she's like, what if they're a bunch of axe murderers? And I said, well, I'll take 5 or 6 of them with me.
Right.
And as luck would have it, a great bunch of people. And they've turned out to be some of the best friends I've ever had in my life. And
that's a really good point.
Great point.
Yeah.
A real diverse group. We've got doctors, we've got guys that work in factories, we've got just a wide variety of people. And it's if you want to go, there's almost always somebody that is willing to meet you.
That is true. Yeah.
And I say it all the time. Just get off the couch. Just go. And in this past 6 years, I have literally done more backpacking and more camping and more hiking than I have in the past 30 or maybe even 40 years combined.
Nice. So I want to bring that point up again as far as the people that you meet, because you're going into a situation where, like you said, you don't know anybody, and they could end up being just really strange. Have you ever had any experiences with when you first meet somebody where you didn't gel with somebody, and so it seems to me the backpacking community is pretty supportive.
Yeah.
And they're pretty easy to get along with because you all share the love of the outdoors.
Correct. But honestly, Chris, it's kind of the same thing if you go to a NASCAR race.
True.
It's like-minded people.
Yeah.
And when you meet up like this out in the wilderness, it's people who want to be here or they wouldn't be here.
That's true.
Now, does that mean that you're going to click with everybody? No.
Yeah.
Never happened. But that's what's neat. This is a big area. You're not cooped up inside a small confined space with people that you can get along with, but you really don't like them.
Right.
You just sit on the other side of the campfire.
and just stare them down.
Yeah.
Do you would you say that Indiana, specifically Indiana, that you've seen almost everything that you want to see here in Indiana as far as hiking or backpacking? Like, have you? I know you've been to a lot of the same places I've been to. I know you've been to a lot more, actually. Do you? Do I?
Maybe, but I kind of doubt it.
Do you ever wish that Indiana had more places, more wilderness like this, or wish we had more public lands like they do out west?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
The big thing that I see about Indiana, and I guess if you have to have a gripe, I'm from the southern part of the state, and we have a lot of fish and wildlife areas, and these are fantastic because we have a lot of strip mining in that area, and they've taken a lot of that reclaimed mine and made it into public ground. And you can hunt, you can fish, and you can hike, but you can't stay overnight.
Right.
And I have griped about that. And I was talking with my good friend Andy, and I think what we basically came up with was that the state just can't afford to manage it.
Right.
There's no way that they can, for lack of a better word, police it.
Right.
And if you make it okay to camp here, it's going to end up trashed and torn up, and it's our society, you know?
Yeah.
So we can get mad, but the reality of it is we've done it to ourselves.
That's a very good point. And as we're older, so we got kids coming up who are discovering backpacking and hiking for the first time. What do you think our responsibility is to pass on the leave no trace principles to really put it in their mind? Hey, pick up your crap.
It's to me, it's simple.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
Not respect for you or for me, or even for the wilderness, but respect for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show yourself some damn respect.
Right. Exactly.
I don't see a lot of that. I really don't.
So what would you say? I know we talked about this a little earlier, and you said you gave me an answer to this, but as far as like in Indiana, are there places that you go to more often because not necessarily because they're your favorite, but just because they're comfortable and you like? Is this like Charles C. Deem? Is this one of your?
The beautiful thing about the Deem is it's a beautiful place, of course, but it's centrally located.
That's true.
And we come in from all over.
Yeah.
I'm way down off the Ohio River.
Yeah.
And
I'm north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Steve's Kokomo, and they come from Fort Wayne, and it's a 2 or 3 hour drive for most anybody in Indiana.
That's true.
So it makes it nice.
Yeah.
If you came down to my neck of the woods, that's what, a 3.5, 4 hour drive for you.
Yeah, it's about 3. Yeah.
And same if I came to you, but we meet here. It's a couple hours apiece.
Yeah.
Which, we both got in here last night. Dark after, you got here right before dark. I got in after dark, and I didn't leave until, after work.
Yeah, I think I left Indy at like 5, and had to go home and do some things and get ready. But yeah, I mean, I was worried that nobody was going to be out here. All right, well, so if you could give one piece of advice to a person who's wanting to get into backpacking and camping, as far as gear goes.
Baby steps.
Baby steps?
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you can start with the Walmart stuff if you need to. Yeah, that's kind of how I started.
Because, I'm at the point in my life where I have slowly built up. And now I'm where if I want to improve my gear, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm at a stage in my life where I can maybe afford to do that a little better than somebody with the kids growing and everything.
Right.
But that being said, you don't have the luxury of going and buying a $300, $400 pack and using it for 2 weeks or for 2 months and say, oh, I really don't like this, so I'm going to take it back and get another one.
Sell it.
Yeah. And there's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And eBay is great. I can't tell you how much stuff I've bought off eBay because of exactly what we were talking about. A guy buys an Osprey and he loves it until he gets a Hyperlite.
Right.
And then he buys a Hyperlite and he loves it Now somebody else gets to buy an Osprey at a reduced price.
That's true.
Then he uses that Hyperlight until he gets a hold of a Z-Pack. And he says, oh, and then he, you know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, utilize inexpensive stuff, and what works for you may not work for me.
Right.
You know, it's just, that's the way it is.
Would you also say that it's more, the gear is simply tools to, because you're trying to create an experience, and so it's simply a tool to get comfortable enough to where you can relax and have that experience.
Yeah, I started on the ground, you know, with tents and heavy canvas stuff, and then the cheap. Back then it was W.T. Grant's, was the department store, you know, Woolworth and stuff. We had all the, and you know, we would buy these tents and use them, and now we've got, thank God, we've got these cottage things, the vendors that come in with these really great Cuban fiber stuff and everything. You know, and for 5 years, I was all about hammocks, and I just loved them. But I probably owned at least 6 high-quality hammocks in that time period. But if for those that don't follow my channel, I had to get a bionic knee a few years ago, and unfortunately, no matter how flat of a lay you get, it still puts a little bit of that hypertension on your knee. Yeah. And I just can't do it anymore. Right. So I've gone back to ground. Yeah. And I've got the Z-Pack duplex, you know. Which is nice. Oh, yeah. Expensive. Expensive, but nice, yeah. Yeah. But, you know, you'd like to think maybe it's the last tent you'll ever need. Right. Maybe it is. Who knows? Until something a lot better comes along. Yeah. I have one. So one that makes itself pop open and it's Cuban fiber or whatever. All right, well, this has been THG Podcast. Thank you, Keith. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Check out his channel Trailmedic on YouTube, and he's one of the first channels that I started watching when I wanted to get into this, and so to be able to sit here and be able to interview him is just, it's kind of an honor for me. It's an honor to be here, bud. So with that said, make sure you get out there and support, and we'll see you later. Peace.